For this project, we're going to begin with our paper in landscape. We're also going to begin drawing with just a pencil. When we add color later, you can pick whatever you would like. I'm going to begin by drawing the body of my cardinal. So I'm going to start with a diagonal line, and I'm going to scoop underneath that line with an arch to make what looks kind of like a crooked letter D. You see that? Now that's going to be the body and the head of my cardinal. I'm going to add the tail next, which is going to be a continuation of that diagonal line. Taking it down, adding a small arch at the bottom, and then bringing it back up. Next, we'll add the wing. Starting in about the middle of the first line you drew, draw another arch. Then come scooping underneath it with a curve like that to make almost an ellipse, and erase that line in the middle. And you almost got a cardinal. Now, male cardinals have sort of a black mask on their face. They're red and black. Female cardinals are brown. That helps them camouflage with the nests. But male cardinals are very flashy, and that's what we're drawing right now. So I'm going to add space for that little black part of the face and add a beak. And then just use basically the letter W to make two little feet, because we're going to set these cardinals on some branches. Let's do another one. Again, begin with a diagonal line. It could lean either direction. I'm going in the opposite direction this time. Scooping underneath that line with an arch. Then for your tail, keep on following the same direction as that first diagonal. Make a curve and come back to the body. And then a simple ellipse shape for the wing. And erase that line that goes through the middle of the wing, because you wouldn't really see that. I'm going to add another little mask. These will be two boy cardinals, two bright red cardinals. Beak. And sometimes, I know the cardinals outside of my window, the feathers on the tops of their heads almost look like mohawks. They are really big and bristling all around. So I'm going to change the top of my bird's head a little bit, so it looks like there are more feathers coming off the top. Especially when it's cold, they really puff all up. I'm going to do the same over here. And this is a really good just general bird shape too. You can take off the black mask, you can change colors and make different kinds of birds just using this simple technique. Now that we have our birds drawn, let's put them on some branches. And for that, we just need to remember parallel lines and overlapping. So I'm going to come along with just a random line here, but when I get to my bird, I'm hopping over all parts of my bird and just kind of meandering off my page. Now I'm going to make a parallel line, again running right next to the original one I drew. Oops, I need to fix that one up there. It's a little out of line there. Just a parallel line that comes up and then kind of wanders off. And then parallel that line and that line to make it look like the branch is split. And let's do another one. Coming off from the other side, when I get to the bird, I hop over. It's fun to draw branches. It's kind of like letting your pencil just take a random walk. I'm going to put a parallel line right underneath there. And just kind of let my pencil go where it wants to go. Maybe look out your window and see if you see any tree branches. What do they look like? Where do they split and bend? All right, so the next part of this drawing, you can stop right here. You could fill in your background with blue or black, make it a night sky or a snowy scene. But what I'm getting ready to do after this part is going to be a little bit more advanced. So you could either stop with the drawing we just did, or you can keep going and try some of this perspective drawing I'm getting ready to show you. Either way is fine. So we're going to move on next to make it look like there's mountains in the distance and a road coming through. So I'm going to make a horizon line that goes up and down. Now, if you don't want mountains, you could make it straight across, just a straight horizontal line. Skipping over that branch and coming down. So now the birds look like they're in the front. I've got mountains in the distance, and I'm going to put a road coming through the mountains and down into our foreground, which is what is right in front of us. So starting back up here at my horizon line, and again, you can do it with a flat horizon line too, sorry, tongue-tied. I'm going to come down with a line, and it can curve around or be straight, and a parallel line next to it. But as these lines get closer to the bottom of the page, they get wider apart. It's almost like kind of a wiggly triangle. Do you see how that looks like a road or a river going off into the distance? And now use your knowledge of creating space in your work. Remember that when things are farther away in a picture, we put them higher up on the page, closest to the horizon line, and we make them smaller. And as things are as things get closer to us, I'm sorry folks, I'm getting tongue-tied. As things get closer to us in a picture, they become larger. So see how the birds are bigger than those trees? That's because they're closer to the viewer in the perspective that we're drawing from. And the trees are teeny tiny and far away. And once you've added everything you want and you're satisfied, go ahead and add some color. Use markers or crayons, colored pencils. This picture also lends itself really well to paint. Have fun and experiment. There's no right or wrong way, just practice. Have fun, be creative, and as always, I can't wait to see what you make.